But this was about the LA sheriff deputy that has been indicted for an on-duty, I was going to say murder, but he's not charged with murder. He's charged with manslaughter. But on-duty death of a brother named Ryan Twyman from out of LA. He got shot and killed in this building that they call the APs. And it's very rare that we get an on-duty killing from a police officer here in LA County, man.
Yeah, but I'm going to go back and not correct you, but I mean, you called it on-duty death. That was murder, bro.
No
you
doubt.
know what I mean? I don't give a damn what you said. That was murder. Murder one. You know what I mean? Booking Dano. You know what I mean? But I mean, he's a cop. They're going to give him the manslaughter, you know. But at the end of the day, man, if you go back and look at that, you know, how he went back and got that assault semi-automatic rifle, man, and, you know, and shot up in that car, you know, at the car was already stopped and there was no movement. You know, then they shot this guy a total of 34 times, man. You know, from the neck, the face on down. That shit just ridiculous.
When I look at that, it almost looks like an assassination, but we don't often call it that when it's the cops doing it.
Right.
But there was like no need for what, and his name is, let me put his name out there, Andrew Lyons, Deputy Andrew Lyons, who's now he's a former deputy. I felt that the whole shooting was over the top, but they're charging him because after the shooting was over, he walked back to his trunk, pulled out the rifle, and then aired him out some more. That's the part that's getting him indicted. But I just thought the way they did it, because look, when you look at the video, one cop walks around the car to the door, and he opens up the back door.
Right.
When Ryan Twyman goes in reverse, the sheriffs are saying Ryan is now using the door of that car as a weapon. But I'm saying to myself, well, the sheriff put himself in the position to he opened up the door, and now that door hit him. So I feel like, I don't believe Ryan was deliberately trying to say, I'm about to weaponize my car and run over these deputies.
Yeah, but you got to look at it. They're going to call that every time, though. You know, using the car as a weapon, using the vehicle as a weapon. They even go far as if he wouldn't have died and probably would have tried to charge him with attempted murder on an officer. You know, I believe they really would have did that had he not passed away. So I get that part. I see that part. They would have fought hard for that. That may be why the only reason he's getting a manslaughter maybe instead of a murder, because in his mind or the story he told was, once I seen my coworker get hit with the car, you know what I mean? I didn't know what his outcome was going to be, what the injury was going to be. I got in my emotions. I got my rifle and I fired some more. I mean, no telling what they said on their end, but I can't see them being upset and would have had charges against him had he wouldn't have passed away about that car hitting that door hitting that deputy.
But before Deputy Lyons went back to the trunk of his car and pulled the rifle out, both deputies were in safety. They were out of harm's way
at the time, yeah.
At that moment. So,
I got you.
So that part of the shooting completely is unjustified if one says this was for deputy safety. That's what they usually say, right? This is for deputy safety.
They say that, but the whole shit was unjustified. I mean, look at it. Look how they did it. You know what I mean? The guy didn't even have a weapon. You didn't see a weapon. He didn't say he was getting a weapon. You know what I mean? None of that. And trying to leave the scene of a crime or get in the car and try to drive away. That's not a crime. I mean, it's a crime. It's not nothing that you should lose your life over.
Most definitely. I think they said that they raided his apartment days earlier.
It was a month or so actually, and they found some weapons.
They found some
straps.
And
he was already on probation or parole. You know, at the end of the day, so they did probably label him armed and dangerous because of the weapons they found. But at this point right here, he did not have a weapon.
Now let me ask you this: if a place gets raided and there's weapons found and you're not there. Are they still pinning those on you?
Well, they're going to go to who house the name in. It goes if you renting, if you owning. All those things make a difference. Because say if you renting, they can go get consent from the actual owner to go up in there and search that property. If you own, you don't have that consent, you would have to actually get a search warrant. So even if you did have a search warrant and you went in there and found weapons, it still don't say they're yours unless you pretty much live by yourself. So maybe if you don't want your sister to go to jail, your mother to go to jail, your wife to go to jail, you may take them. You know what I mean? It happened in the case with my homeboy Shitty Mike. You know, a similar case. He wasn't even home, and the homies ran through his mother's backyard, dropped some guns, and hit the fence and kept running. So when the police came, they came and found the weapons, but they also found 2 more Shitty Mikes. You know what I mean? So of course we smashed on the homies, but they didn't know that the homie had some guns already back there, and Shitty took 5 years for that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he wasn't even there.
Now, in this example, though, Ryan could have said, those weapons aren't mine.
Right.
And they got to prove that those weapons are his. But it seems like the way they approached him with a level of guilt. But he's also under probation at the time.
Thanks for watching this video clip of Streets and Scholars podcast with Alex, Alonso, and FG. If you want to listen to the entire episode, go to your favorite podcast platform and type in Streets and Scholars. But we're available on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and Spotify. And thanks for listening to another episode of Streets and Scholars.